So if you're watching this video, it probably means we humbly suggested that you create a little mini test lab for PolicyPak Cloud. And this is the final video. This is kind of tying it all together. So in previous videos, you got your domain controller, you got your Windows 10 machine, and they're talking, hopefully. And what do you got to do next? Well, two things. First, you need to install the client-side extension. Well, you got the client-side extension by downloading the bits in the portal, not the cloud. The portal. So go to portal.policypak.com. You get this CD-ROM full of stuff. And on your endpoint, your pretend mini test lab endpoint, you're going to install the client-side extension. Now, the client-side extension will operate for free on this machine when the computer has the word computer in the name. So that's your next hint. The next thing you're going to do is make sure your computer is named something with computer in it. So after this is done, I'll show you what my computer name is called. There we go. My computer is called Computer 64. So it doesn't need a license. It'll just act fully licensed and life will be good. Now that I've got the client-side extension installed, I'm going to change from a workgroup over to my domain, fabricam.com, and join my domain. All right. And I will go ahead and reboot. And that's all there is for that machine. He's ready to get PolicyPak directives. Now, on the domain controller, this kind of has two functions. One, it's a domain controller, of course, and two, it's going to kind of act as your editing station. So if you go into any given group policy object, you'll see there's policies and preferences, but no PolicyPak. What are you going to do? You're going to go back to that same CD-ROM, okay, right over here. You're going to go into the admin console, and you're going to install the admin console MSI on your domain controller. Now, again, you don't have to do this step on a domain controller. If you already have another machine that is your GPMC editing station, that's fine. In my test lab, though, I kind of like it on my domain controller. Doesn't have to be. The admin console is just anywhere where you have the GPMC, which we explained how to set up in a previous video. So now that you have all those things matching, okay, now that all those things are ready to go, now you're ready to create your first example. So if I were to go to my entire domain here and right-click, create and link a GPO here, and I wanted to do PolicyPak Least Privilege Manager Test 123 to do a Least Privilege Manager test. Okay, I can click Edit here. This is going to affect every computer in my domain, including my little test lab guy. So if I wanted to go to User Side, PolicyPak, and do something in Least Privilege Manager or Browser Router or File Associations, whatever it is, I know that it's going to work. So let's do an A/B test. If I were to log on first as East Sales User 1, some guy here, okay, there's no policies yet for him. We'll see that I can't do a thing. Like I'm going to get Process Monitor, some little application to overcome a UAC prompt, or even then, you maybe don't even need Process Monitor. If you just want to go right-click and go to Device Manager, this is a good test. Go to Device Manager, and it tells you, hey, you're a standard user. You can look, but you can't touch. Okay, you must be logged on as an admin to make changes. Let's overcome this UAC prompt. Okay, let's overcome that with a PolicyPak Least Privilege Manager directive. We'll right-click, add, new, let's see, new Control Panel Applet Policy. Okay, and then we'll click Next, and we'll go ahead and pick Device Manager. Next, Run with Elevated Privileges. Next. Next, and that's it. To test your directive, remember your endpoint has to have the client-side extension installed. It has to be named something with computer in the name. It has to be domain joined, and it has to get the policy. When all those things are true, bang, you'll light it up, and this will verify that you've got a little mini test lab ready to create directives. So let's go ahead and test. Go back to Device Manager and hey, look at that. No more UAC prompt. We're off to the races. So again, what's the point of having a little online test lab for PolicyPak Cloud? Not everything is possible in the in-cloud editors, okay? Most things, but not everything. So if you wanted to do some fancy footwork here, this one is totally fine. But by way of example, if you had this policy and you wanted to get it into PolicyPak Cloud, you can view as XML in Notepad right here, and then you could upload this to PolicyPak Cloud. I'll show you how to do that. All right, over here in PolicyPak Cloud, now that you've got it here in Notepad, you just right-click Copy, then go over to Company Groups, and in Cloud, you could find the company group you want. You could then upload and link a new XML here, paste it in, and now you've taken something from the MMC and now it's in Cloud, which is PPLPM. All right, something like that. All right, so the idea is that This little test lab is exactly what you need to verify in case you need to take PolicyPak Cloud out of the equation. You've got a little online test lab. That's all you need. Hope this video helps you out. Looking forward to getting you working with PolicyPak Cloud real soon. Thanks.